You are listening to Sex Afflictions and Porn Addictions, and I am your host, Craig Pera from themindfulhabit.com, the founder of the Mindful Habit System to create healthy habits and live a great life. I'm also the leader of a tribe of incredible men and women who have chosen to use this crisis to transform into the best versions of themselves. My work puts me in touch with amazing people. I've worked with clients in 27 different countries, every religious background, not every, but so many different cultural backgrounds. It has been truly, truly, truly a gift to connect with men who've made terrible mistakes and caused tremendous pain, and their partners who want to grow and heal, right? And the partners want to move forward from this betrayal trauma. And you've heard me talk about betrayal trauma in the past. And if you haven't, I highly recommend my podcast with licensed therapist, trauma expert, Sandy Joy. Seriously, it is so, and the reason why I want to keep talking about it, because it's a thing, but it's been such an important part of my journey in putting myself in Michelle's shoes, right? Trying to understand as best I can how my actions made her feel. And one of my clients' wives wrote a story that I'm going to share with you today. And it is so beautiful. When I first read it, you know me, I got tears in my eyes. It just really, really connected. And I felt like the imagery in the story helped me connect even deeper with what Michelle felt. And that's critical for you brothers to really understand. And listen, it's hard, right? We have different belief systems around sex. We are programmed very differently. The notion of porn being cheating, until you get caught, it's not something that crosses your mind. And instead of arguing over whether it's not or cheating, I think the better value is trying to understand why the person you love feels that way, right? Because underneath that declaration that makes you feel so bad about yourself are her belief systems around sex and around intimacy, and you guys understanding what those are and where there's union, where there's accord, and where there are differences is critical to moving forward. And, empathy is so important for obvious reasons, and it is learned. It's learned. I often say that my guys start their journey of empathy and understanding by first connecting with their pain and their wounds and their unmet needs, their reasons for the compartmentalization, the lying, the double life, the self-destructive behavior, right? There's needs that aren't being met. And so it's hard to empathize. Look at the mess that we've made. And so and for you, brother, this story is for you to listen and try to understand and open your heart and try to connect with how the person you love, that you may have fathered children with, that you have lived together chosen to live together with for a considerable period of time, is hurt and is in a lot of pain. And understanding that hurt and pain is critical to moving forward. So I hope that this story helps you do that better. But before I jump into the story, I want to share with you what I think one of the biggest mistakes that partners make is that they do not get help for themselves. They stay stuck reacting. They're like almost constantly in this place where they feel emotionally unsafe. They're often unhappy and unhealthy. The world of sex addiction and porn addiction is a world that they may have been forced to enter, but it is not the end of the journey. It is just the beginning. And for the partners that stay in this place, it's so unhealthy. It's so painful. I mean, literally, the quality of your relationship either adds years to your life or subtracts years for your life. So everybody right now listening to your podcast, listening to this podcast right now, ask yourself, is my core relationship, if I had to pick one, adding years to my life or subtracting years from my life? Really, really think about it. Force that binary this or that kind of question. I like questions like that. And they stay stuck. Something has been done to them. And this is flawed for a number of reasons, but two I just want to highlight because it has been such an incredible joy. I feel like my mission in helping partners is part of me, like restoring the karmic balance because of all my trials and tribulations and failures. And it's so anyway, it's important to me. And I love when a partner is brave and joins our partner empowerment group. And by the way, the partner program that we have, and I'm going to have an offer for you partners who may feel stuck, who may feel like they're at a time in their life where it's time to prioritize themselves. It's time to put themselves first. I'm going to make it easy for you. So if you stick around to the end, I'll let you know exactly what you can do to take advantage and to start moving forward in an aggressive way. I mean, life is too short to suck. But why partners need help? Because betrayal trauma is a thing. It is a real, like, impactful thing that lives in you, being lied to and manipulated by the person closest to you, the person that you're supposed to trust, truly rocks your world. Massive impact, triggered all the time, constant unsafety, affecting you physiologically. The other reason that in my almost universal experience, and I say almost to make room for the reality that there's someone who didn't fit into this category, I have not yet had that experience yet. Not that I can recall. And that is that the betrayal trauma that the partners that has been inflicted upon them sits on top of pre-existing traumas. Call it stacked trauma, childhood stuff. It's hard being a woman. And so many women had sexually assaulted. Just start there. I think the number is 3 out of 5. Their upbringing around sexuality often was poisonous. They may have been physically abused, emotionally abused, sexually abused, or neglected in some capacity. And the unique challenge of being a woman, it's just really, really hard. And things that happen to you in your developmental years have a legacy. They stay with you. They stay with you. So then my experience at betrayal trauma is stacked on top of pre-existing traumas. And last is putting the trauma stuff aside. If that doesn't resonate with you, the fact is that there are always opportunities to grow. There are always things to learn. There are blind spots to expose, traumas to heal, wounds to mend, ways to communicate better, tools to create different outcomes so you learn and grow from conflict, which is inevitable in any relationship. So learn how to grow from it instead of it tearing you apart and making your life worse. Making your life worse. So anyway, to help you connect with the betrayal trauma, how this part of you may have been injured, and to the extent that that shines a light on healing that part, great. Like I said, at the end of this broadcast, I'm going to give you an easy way to get started on yourself with literally no charge, zero. And that's my partner empowerment group. So we're going to talk about that. But first, I want to read this story. And it's imagery really, really spoke to me, and I hope it speaks to you. And we'll call the author of this A. I'll use her first initial, but A wrote this and sent it to me and allowed me to share it, which I am very, very grateful for. Thank you for giving me the opportunity, A, to use your creation to touch other people's lives. So let's get started. Once upon a time, in a cold and windy month of November, a beautiful butterfly was born. Well, actually, the butterfly was not that beautiful at the very beginning of her life. Some butterflies were even thinking she was ugly. However, her heart was amazingly beautiful. The butterfly was happily flying with other butterflies among flowers in endless, colorful, and fragrant meadows. She was flittering from one flower to another, enjoying the variety of their colors, shapes, and scents. It was so much fun to stick her nose into those furry faces and feel how the delicate aromas were wrapping her whole body and making her head spin. In spite of her love for flowers, the butterfly's favorite game was to fly up high, closer to the sun, and feel the warmth from the rays playing on her wings. She loved that freedom of the skies. There was nothing of that usual hassle prevailing down on the ground where most butterflies were spending their days. Nothing was distracting her from watching others, savoring the beauty of this world from high above, and dreaming. Yes, she could see and feel much more than many of her friends. Most of all, she dreamt about how one day he will come into her life and wrap her up with his warm, soft wings. She dreamt how they will be flying high in the skies together, feeling the gentle touch of each other's wings. She dreamt that when she'll get tired, his strong wings will carry them both higher and higher. She dreamt that these wings will cover her during frightful night storms. Even though she had friends, none of them wanted to fly closer to the sun. They were afraid that their delicate wings would get burned. Yes, oftentimes she felt lonely. The butterfly was intently trying to sight those mighty wings among myriad of butterflies flittering everywhere. There were a couple times she thought she found them, but those were illusions. Yes, they looked soft and strong, but not strong enough to carry them both. She felt she had to be that strength and pull them up. Hence, she was still alone, fighting against strong wind gusts with no one to shield her. One sunny summer day, when she almost lost her hope, the butterfly spotted someone unusual on the horizon. He didn't look like other butterflies in her meadow. There was something unusual about him. She thought she would give it a try. She was so happy to find out that he also enjoyed observing the beauty of the world from high above. It was so easy with him. She felt herself in heaven. She noticed that when they were together, other butterflies were looking at them. She thought it was because he looked so exotic, till one day she saw her reflection in a puddle left after the rain. She was mesmerized by her reflection. She was not a fragile, pale moth anymore. Her beautiful wings were shimmering with all the colors of the rainbow. They were very soft and so strong that they could carry anybody as high as they wanted. He was very proud of his new friend. He loved to have those beautiful pair of wings flying by his side. He loved how playful, extraordinary, and exceptional she was. one thing bothered him. He felt his wings were not as strong as hers. He was afraid that one day she might fly higher than he. Despite all of his love for her, he felt it easier with other butterflies who were flying very low above the ground. They were happy with their daily provision from fallen flowers and had no desire to break through towards the sun. Moreover, altogether, they were laughing at our butterfly and judging her. He enjoyed a feeling of superiority and freedom with them. Thus, he started secretly escaping down more often to feed his ego and hide from his fears. One day, she noticed it was difficult for her to fly. In the mirror of her pool, she spotted some dirt on her wings. Where could it be from? She was never so close to the ground to get soiled. The only thing her wings were touching were his wings. The discovery she made was devastating. Her beloved one traded clear blue sky for dirt. He betrayed their love, their dreams, and their future. She was in despair. She couldn't discern the beauty of the world anymore. It dimmed. Her hopes crumbled. That lump of dirt was so heavy that it broke her wing and she crashed. She was crawling alone in the darkness and mud. She was gasping because there was not enough air in the chasm she fell into. She was shivering because it was extremely cold, and no one could warm up her freezing body. Huge tears were rolling down from her eyes. She couldn't fly anymore. Peacefully resting on your palm, she trusts you. Don't break her beautiful and fragile wings with a careless movement. Without wings, she will be no more. So that's one that you might want to give a couple of listens to, because that reflects a very, very difficult journey of infidelity, pain, and betrayal. And when I read it, the imagery of the happy butterfly reminds me of my wife. Anybody who knows her knows how positive she is and how wonderful she is and how thoughtful she is. I'm just so amazingly blessed. And I shit on that, shit on that. And because of my frail, fragile ego, it wasn't easy for me to empathize. And I continue to learn, I continue to grow, I continue to understand, and I'm so blessed to be able to work with partners who are sharing their deepest wounds and their vulnerabilities and their fears with Michelle and I. Michelle and I run one of the group calls in the Partner Empowerment Group. That's the program for partners. And Sandy Joy, betrayal trauma expert, licensed therapist who coaches for me, runs the other call. So there's this really powerful split between Sandy, who left her husband, and Michelle and I, who have stayed together. And that split really just forces some of the very, very difficult issues. So I just want to say, brother, listen, listen, do everything you can to try to put yourself in her shoes. The deeper you connect, the more you can feel and connect with the pain you caused, the better this is going to be for you, because it's a reflection of your emotional intelligence, your self-awareness, and how you impact others, right? And your most intimate, close of relationships. It is a massive, massive blind spot when you look at your life as a whole. I mean, boom, this major part is profoundly broken. And if you're a partner and you're listening, I hope that listening to that story helped you connect with your feelings, which are often so either repressed or so angry, not much in between. And this helps expose the wound that needs to be healed. Expose the wound that needs to be healed. And when you've got compulsive sexual behavior in a relationship, my experience is you, the partner, can really make your life better by understanding some very important concepts and targeting those wounds and healing from them instead of repressing them and stuffing them down and trying to get on with your day, or maybe even consuming yourself with all the resources on the internet, and not all of it good and not all of it accurate, not all of it helping you. So find what works. Find what works. And if you connect with me, Michelle, or Sandy, in this approach, go to my website, www.themindfulhabit.com. Click on Get Help. And underneath that menu, you'll find the Partner Empowerment Group. It says Partner Group Coaching. So you click on Get Help Now, and then click on Partner Group Coaching. And the way we've structured it, it's automatic on the website. The first month is free. The first month is free. If your husband ends up signing up for one of my groups, I waive tuition for 3 months. But if he doesn't sign up, and listen, this is that we call it the Partner Empowerment Group because it is designed to help you heal and help you move forward. If he decides to catch up and work on himself and you see that he can transform into the man that you want him to be, then we got a win-win. But it's a win-win regardless, because this program is designed to move you forward, to help you navigate this very difficult, bumpy terrain, and to provide you with a community. Like you feel so alone. Like, I promise you, there's so many women who know exactly what you're going through, who when you say something, they don't even have to like respond. It's just, yeah, I know. And so we built that community for you. And it's so awesome seeing these brave, strong women supporting each other, nurturing each other, and helping them move forward. So if you're interested in that journey, go to the website, www.themindfulhabit.com. Let me know what you think about this poem. Leave me a comment down below if you're watching this on YouTube, or email support@themindfulhabit.com with any of your thoughts and comments. We are working on building a part 2. Right? That butterfly does not stay down. That butterfly does not stay grounded. That is not how this story ends. I guarantee that. I know enough about this person that they are a survivor in ways that most of us, quite frankly, can't even fathom. And I feel so blessed and privileged to be part of her journey. And her man is lowering the walls, understanding the compartmentalization, the role that insignificance/significance plays in his life, the needs that the behavior was meeting, and how to meet those needs in a healthy way. He's got the shovel out, digging in deep. So that story is going to have I'm looking forward to chapter 2. I am really, really looking forward to chapter 2. And when that comes, I'm going to share it with you. Thank you so much for spending your time with me. This is Craig Pera with Sex Afflictions and Porn Addictions. Embrace your power of choice and feed the right wolf inside you. Bye, everybody.